The first reading of the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022 is completed. Therefore, in accordance with Standing Order 66 and 677, we proceed to the second reading of the bill forthwith. Clerk, you may proceed.
Second reading, Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022 by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Orders 67 and 77, I invite the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs to move a motion for the second reading of the bill entitled Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022. If the motion is carried, the clerk shall read aloud the short title of the bill and shall declare it to have been read for the second time. Thereafter, honorable members, the Assembly will debate on the general merits and the principles of the bill as per Standing Orders 77-1. After the debate, we will resolve into committee of the whole Assembly to give detailed consideration to the bill. On that note, honorable members, I now invite the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs to move the motion for the second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the bill be read the second time. The objection reasons. The object of this bill is to provide for the services of the Gambia for the period 1st January to 31st December 2022. Thank you.
Honorable members.
Thank you.
Honorable Member for Controller.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second.
Thank you, Honorable Member. In accordance with Standing Order 67-1, I will now open the floor for debate on the general merits and principles of the bill. Any honorable member who wishes to partake in the debate may now do so. The floor is open. Get the names of the... Honorable members, thank you. I now invite, yes, Honorable Minority, is it Minority?
Thank you very much, Honorable
Yes.
Speaker. I only want to confirm the observation that we made during the committee of all our stage. There were independent institutions that we recommended that their budget should be restored. And that's the National Assembly. In the recurrent budget, yes, that we could see both the recurrent and the cut at the development amounting to 376,581,024. For Independent Stadium, what is in the recurrent is the 118. Sorry, Independent Electoral Commission. In the Independent Electoral Commission is 118,666,170. Whether they don't have any aspect of the development component of the budget to reflect any changes in the recurrent budget. And then as well as the National Audit Office, that is 193,716,928. So I want the clarification on that, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I confirm that those amendments have been restored. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022 be read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, can the clerk read the short title of the bill?
Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022.
Honorable members, I will now resolve the Assembly into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the bill in detail. On that note, honorable members, the Assembly is now resolved into committee stage. Honorable members, we will now consider the bill head by head as per the schedule, and thereafter we will consider the clauses in the bill.
Head 01, Office of the President.
Honorable members, it is proposed that head 01, Office of the President, in the sum of $764,157,731 $781 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 02, National Assembly.
Honorable members, it is proposed that head 02, National Assembly, in the sum of $376,581,024 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 03, Judiciary.
It is proposed that head 03, Judiciary, in the sum of $245,238,000 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not.
Pardon? No. It's schedule.
It's scheduled.
This is scheduled.
This is stand part of the schedule.
And the schedule is part of the
It's
bill.
part of the bill.
Well, those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 04, Independent Electoral Commission.
It is proposed that Head 04, Independent Electoral Commission, in the sum of $118,666,170 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 05, Public Service Commission.
It is proposed that Head 05, Public Service Commission, in the sum of $11,205,544 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 06, National Audit Office.
It is proposed that Head 06, National Audit Office, in the sum of $193,716,928 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
Head 07, Ministry of Defense.
It is proposed that Head 07, Ministry of Defense, in the sum of $841,481,672 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 08, Ministry of Interior.
It is proposed that Head 08, Ministry of Interior, in the sum of $1,318,313,037 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
Head 09, Ministry of Tourism and Culture.
It is proposed that Head 09, Ministry of Tourism and Culture, in the sum of $41,145,387 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
Head 10, Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
It is proposed that Head 10, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in the sum of $1,074,825,970 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 11, Ministry of Justice.
It is proposed that Head 11, Ministry of Justice, in the sum of $107,584,900 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs.
It is proposed that Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, in the sum of $1,162,773,766 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 13, Pensions and Gratuities.
It is proposed that Head 13, Pensions and Gratuities, in the sum of $425,093,000 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
Head 14, Office of the Ombudsman.
It is proposed that Head 14, Office of the Ombudsman, in the sum of $33,616,967 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 15, centralized services.
It is proposed that head 15, centralized services, in the sum of $1,416,600,474 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government.
It is proposed that head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, in the sum of $184,103,051 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 17, Ministry of Agriculture.
It is proposed that head 17, Ministry of Agriculture, in the sum of $385,841,663 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
It is proposed that head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, in the sum of $2,217,750,903 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 19, Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment.
It is proposed that head 19, Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, in the sum of $110,869,955 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 20, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education.
It is proposed that head 20, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, in the sum of $3,032,922,299 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 21, Ministry of Health.
It is proposed that head 21, Ministry of Health, in the sum of $2,382,806,157 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 22, Ministry of Youth and Sports.
It is proposed that head 22, Ministry of Youth and Sports, in the sum of $104,959,730 stand part of the bill. Part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 23, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Water Resources and Wildlife.
It is proposed that head 23, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Water Resources and Wildlife.
No, sorry. I think there should be an amendment. It should be natural resources. Because fisheries is water.
No water resources there.
It's natural. It should be natural resources.
So it should be amended, Honorable Minister,
From water to natural.
from water to natural resources. Can you, Honorable Minister, can you read it for us? What it should read? Use your microphone.
No, natural resources.
Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife.
So water resources or natural resources?
No,
will be out.
natural resources part. Yes. Natural resources part.
Wait, I don't see it. Oh, it's here. Climate Change and Wildlife. That's what we have here. They're saying that. No, that's not natural. Minister of Climate Change. Larger minister. Yes, I'm Thank you for the correction. I read Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources in the sum of $231,004,780 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 24. Head 24, Ministry of Information, Communication and Infrastructure. I think there should be changes. Then it should be Ministry. Anyway. Okay, propose the amendment. Me, I read what is before me.
Honorable members, can you hear from the Honorable Minister for us to have the correct nomenclature? Honorable Minister?
Yes, it's Minister of Information.
Only.
Honorable members, it is Ministry of Information only. Huh? Pardon?
No, we are using the bill.
Honorable members, it is proposed that Head 24, Ministry of Information, in the sum of $24,359,263 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 25, Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources.
It is proposed that Head 25, Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources, in the sum of $39,630,978 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 27, Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
It is proposed that Head 27, Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, in the sum of $264,488,699 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 29, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy.
It is proposed that Head 29, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy, in the sum of $48,226,555 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 31, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare.
It is proposed that Head 31, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in the sum of $77,852,919 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 33, National Human Rights Commission.
It is proposed that Head 33, National Human Rights Commission, in the sum of $53,766,265 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 34, Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy.
It is proposed that Head 34, Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, in the sum of $52,829,569 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 35, Ministry of Public Service, Administrative Reforms and Policy Coordination.
It is proposed that Head 35, Ministry of Public Service, Administrative Reforms and Policy Coordination, in the sum of $134,663,099 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 50, National Debt Service.
It is proposed that Head 50, National Debt Service, in the sum of $5,292,065,131 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Total appropriation.
It is proposed that total appropriation in the sum of $22,769,141,636 stand part of the bill, part of the schedule. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 1, short title and commencement.
The appropriation bill that was circulated, we now deal with it.
Clause 1, subtitle and comment.
I'm waiting for them to see it. It is proposed that clause 1, short title and commencement, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 1 now start.
It is
Now, clause 1 now start.
clause 1 now stands part of the bill.
Clause 2, Amendment of Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022.
It is proposed that clause 2 members, before I put the question, I want to talk with the Honorable Minister. The clause 2, Amendment of Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022, there is a proposal for amendment. Let me read the proposal for you to see. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting 4. Instead of substituting the schedule, by substituting for the schedule with the following new schedule.
With is out, no, with is out.
The following new schedule. Do you follow? Let me read it again. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for the schedule the following new schedule. Is that correct?
No.
All right. What was there before? Let me read it. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting the schedule with the following. My understanding is the legal draftsmen work together and that they propose this amendment.
So you are telling us that the proposal comes from the drafter.
Yes, drafters.
So we continue. It's their document. If they recommend for amendment, fine.
Yes, but you see, the National Assembly still reserves the right to say yes or no. So whether it's coming from the drafters or from him or anywhere, it is you now, after stamping it, we no longer talk about the draftsman, we talk about you.
There's a new submission from the draft, I think.
Honorable members, the drafter has sent in another amendment proposal. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for the following. Then it continues. Yeah, it continues. Yeah, whatever you have there should now read the Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022, which is there, is amended. Is amended. Is up to that place. Let me learn, please. Is amended by substituting for the following. By substituting for the schedule with the following is by substituting for the following. Let me read it again. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for the following. Then it goes. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Just going to say that the Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for the following.
Honorable, you see, the legal draftsman brought in this.
It's the schedules.
I read it to you. It is now in your domain now to say, though we are fine with it, or you put your own words, if you agree on.
Speaker.
So we wait. Who is speaking? Yes, Honorable Member for Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. I think those amendment.
No, yeah, let's continue our own. Go ahead.
No, your aides, they are all your aides are not concentrating. They are confined. Maybe.
No, but we are listening. They can only advise us.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
You know the amendment is for the schedules, the various schedules. So if you want to remove the schedule, and I think as it is, it makes more sense to say the Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting the schedule with the following. It's the schedule. Exactly. Yes, that's what I mean. Because it's because of the schedule. It's the schedule. It's semantics. But the way
We
they are
have
putting it,
honorable members now. We have various versions.
Chair. You see, what I mean by here. So when you said by substituting the following, that will suffice. Substituting the following is now what we just read.
Chair. All right, what we do now,
Chair,
let's see now, I think what we will do,
we allow these people to.
we allow them to finalize. When they give me their proposal,
He is not a legal
I will table it to you people. You agree or disagree? Huh?
Okay.
Where is it?
Now we have resorted to this.
For it. The following. All right. Now, the Honorable Minister and his team have done this. Let me read it for you. Section 2 of the Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for it the following. Substituting for it the following. For it, comma, the following, full stop. Huh?
Put it in the book, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
No, you have it. It's okay.
Chair. Huh?
It's fine. Yes, put it to vote, sir.
Yes, I will put it to vote. Now, honorable members. Yes, list. Sorry.
I say what you have just said is okay, but if, between is and amended, if you put hereby. The Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is hereby amended. That is the best language.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is not English language. This is not English language there. This is legal language.
Each other. It's not our mother tongue. I'm sure if we are Fula or Wolof or Mandinka, we will have concluded.
Okay, that's okay.
What about they are saying that 22 is hereby amended by substituting for the following.
Oh, so this is our standard of draft. No, it's fine. Since it's two legal officers are acting.
Honorable member, for your information, the two legal experts here are saying that it's fine as it is, as proposed. They are saying that it's fine as I read it. You are suggesting that we put is hereby. Speaker, can you read once more? Section 2 of the Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022 is amended by substituting for it, comma, the following. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 2, amendment of Appropriation Act number 1 of 2022, stand part of the schedule as amended, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Finish. Honorable members, now the assembly resumes. You bring along this thing.
We'll bring it up.
Honorable members, the assembly now resumes. May I now call on the Honorable Minister to report to the whole assembly what transpired at the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Speaker, I report that the bill entitled the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022, having gone through the Committee of Supplies with amendments, be considered and adopted.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the report of the Committee of Supply on the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022 be adopted. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I now call upon the Honorable Minister to move the motion for a third reading.
Honorable Speaker, I move that the bill entitled the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022, having been considered with amendments, be read a third time and passed.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, It has been moved that the bill entitled the Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022, having been considered with amendments, be read a third time and passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, can you read out the title of the bill for the third reading?
Appropriation Amendment Bill 2022.
Thank you, Clerk. The bill is now passed. Clerk, can we go on to the next order? The next motion on the order paper. Honorable members, it has been proposed by the Honorable Minister that we take on the two loan agreements together, but at the end we'll vote on each of them separately. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. So we can deal with the two together. But when it comes to voting, we will vote on each of them separately.
Motions. Be it resolved that this National Assembly do approve the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and Kuwaiti Fund for Arab Economic Development for the widening of Batin Hardin Highway Road Project, amounting to 6 million Kuwaiti dinar, equivalent to US dollars 19,800,000, and do consider and ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Islamic Development Bank regarding the development of the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project, amounting to US dollars 7 million, both by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Honorable Minister, you can move the motion.
Good evening, Honorable Speaker. I rise before this August Assembly to propose the deliberation on the loan agreement for the ratification of the loan agreement in respect of widening of the Batin Hardin Highway project between the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development and the Republic of the Gambia. Then this project will contribute to the economic development by widening the road for Batin Hardin Highway, and this is a phase, this is the last phase of financing close, and the salient points, features of the facilities are that the loan is for an amount of 6 million Kuwaiti dinar, which translates to $19,698,965 dollars. In Dalasi time, $1,047,000,000, and covers for a period of 28 years with a grace period of 3 years. The fund has agreed to charge an annual interest of 1% on the principal of the loan withdrawn and outstanding, and an additional amount of a 0.5 percentage point per annum for administrative expenses and implementation fee. The project is expected to be completed by the end of 2024. The second bill before the loan agreement before us is the ratification of the loan agreement for the development of the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project between the Islamic Development Bank and the Republic of the Gambia. And the salient features of the loan is that it is for the to complete the ongoing construction of the University of the Gambia Faraba Bantan campus for the university students. And it's for an amount of 4,950,000 Islamic dinar, equivalent to $7 million United States dollars, translated to dollars is at 372,099,000. The development of the University of the Gambia project aims to improve the delivery and the quality of higher education services in the Gambia by providing a more conducive and ideal environment for research, learning, through the establishment of a centralized campus and a well-developed curriculum. The phase 2 of the university project will be executed over a period of 18 months from the first disbursement date to the last disbursement date, which is 30th of November 2023. The facility is for a period of 25 years with an administrative fee projected at 104,993 Islamic dinar. And the project is expected to, the estimation of the service fee is based on the project implementation period, and the final amount will be calculated at the end of the project implementation. The service fee will be paid within and until the end of the project. Mr. Speaker, these are the two loan ratification, loan agreement presented to this August Assembly for your consideration and approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Any seconder, honorable members? The honorable member for Nyamina West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion. I rise to second the motions, the two motions.
Honorable members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and Kuwaiti Fund for Arab Economic Development for the widening of Batin Hardin Highway road project amounting to 6 million Kuwaiti dinars, equivalent to 19,800,000 United States dollars, and further consider and ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Islamic Development Bank regarding the development of the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project amounting to $7 million. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who may want to take the floor may now do so. You can just raise your constituency tax and we'll get your names down. I now call on the honorable member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will first speak on the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Islamic Development Bank relating to the UTG Phase 2. This is Phase 2 of the project, which is $22 million, United States dollars. Right? Honorable Speaker, it has a service fee of $104,993.21. 104 million. The service fee in an amount of estimated initially at 104 million. But
It's 104,000, not million.
it's 1,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because they put, okay. Honorable Speaker, this is a maximum period, grace, it has a grace period, but the maximum period is 25 years. The question is this amount that is being paid is for the total, for the 25 million. That is the question I want to ask relating to that. Also, if you look at Article 4.6 of the agreement, 4.6 of the agreement, it is saying, it's just an explanation that is required there. Late payment. If there is late payment, any sum unpaid, due and unpayable by the recipient to Islamic Development Bank is not paid on its due date. The due date. Then, in addition to paying the unpaid sum, the recipient undertakes to make payment to charity. So it's just an explanation of this charity thing that you put there. We are seeking for charity, and then we are asked to pay to charity. You need to clarify that. What charity is that? There is a charity account. Is that charity account in the donor's country, or is it in the Gambia? That needs to be clarified. Any donation that is 4.9 to charity account shall be payable by the recipient within 5 business days of a demand by Islamic Development Bank to the following Islamic Development Bank wide fund account. So just an explanation on that, Honorable Speaker, would be necessary. What is the charity account all about? Because we continue to see this thing in the agreements. It needs to be clear now. Who is paying what to the charity account? Also, Honorable Speaker, at Article 6.9, it's also a concern that I need to 6.9. 6.2. The deadline to achieve the effective date of this agreement is 180 days after the day of signature of this agreement, as stated at the beginning of the agreement. The signature date is when you sign the agreement. And then the ratification date is, if it is done today, that means that today is the date. So it means that we are interested in this because the committee that is responsible for monitoring projects should be ready to mount regular monitoring of the project to ensure that these projects succeed, because a lot of money is going into these projects. So, and many of these projects are failing. So in order to ensure that they succeed, the monitoring committee of the National Assembly should be proactive, not only to be there once, but be there several times to ensure that what is agreed on is what is being implemented. Also, Honorable Speaker, the disbursement should be done diligently, because if it is not done diligently, it means that anything that is left, they're talking about charity, maybe you'll explain that. Whatever is not disbursed, what happened to it? Is that the one that goes to charity? So you need to explain that to us. Honorable Speaker, the other one, that is the Battle Hardy Highway, we ratify it here, and it is already captured in the appropriation budget. So we were expecting a series of loans coming to be able to meet the maximum amount that is required to complete the project. So we are not surprised to see this one. All that I can say is that we cannot reject these things because once we reject them, the projects will stop. And we cannot stop a big project like that, which should take from Airport Johnson going all the way to the hotels and then coming back to sitting, how do you call it? Sitting corner. It's already started. So in order not to derail the work, I believe that we should all give blessing to these two bills to ensure that the project succeeds. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Woolly East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Before us, we have two motions. One on the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development, which is for widening the Battle Hardy Highway from Sting Corner to Airport Johnson. I want to believe that road construction is the one that is ongoing and is the one that the President earlier on visited and then expressed his disappointment regarding the progress of the work. If we are to approve this loan for the continuation of the project, I am emphasizing that our committee on project monitoring have a great task to do. This time round, Honorable Speaker, I would advise that if we are to appoint subject matter specialists, especially in this particular committee, that is the Project Monitoring Committee, experts that are to be appointed are engineers that can be able to guide the committee to make sure they properly monitor these projects, especially the road construction, they are properly monitored. And then to do that, you need an expert, an engineer, who can actually guide these people when they are doing their oversight. Not only experts, it's even important the committee is equipped with facilities that they can do their oversight to test the quality of the road. I think now we should go beyond approving loan for road to be constructed only to last for a decade. And another Honorable Speaker, many a time when roads are constructed in this country, I don't know whether it's by coincidence or by the nature in which they are designed, most roads go with proper drainage system. Roads are constructed to serve us, but in return, to cause havoc to the residents around that particular road. One will assume that engineers don't factor the topography in the area that should factor a proper drainage so that the road don't only come to cause havoc to the community around it. I believe this road, a dual purpose road of this nature, would not be that type of road that is going to cause havoc to the residents around that particular area. On that, we look forward to the completion of the road, and then we expect the delay that was caused in the first phase will not be the case, as the President emphasized his concern on the slow pace of the work. Equally, if we are to approve the loan for the completion, we as parliamentarians also, we are emphasizing our concern on serious work and the time that is stipulated as the duration of the contract to be met by the contractor. On the other contract, that is for the phase 2 of the project for the completion of the university project at Faraba Bantam, Honorable Speaker, to invest in university education, higher education in any country is an investment that is meant to provide development in that particular country. No nation can develop without developing your people, that is, without making your people to acquire higher education. And to have the university campus completed at Faraba Bantang will only improve the capacity of our university education in this country. I think the pace in which that project is also going is very slow. Equally, as I expressed my concern on the slow pace on the road construction, I want to express my concern for whoever will be the contractor or is the contractor to take it seriously that the National Assembly that is approving this loan for the completion of that project, we are very much concerned on any work that's supposed to be done based on any loan that we approve. And I must emphasize, this time round, our project monitoring committee should not take any of these projects lightly. These are the projects or the loans that we approve, meant for the projects that you are to conduct oversight. Please make sure you have all details of the contract agreement and we are fully guided and supported anytime we are going out for any oversight concern. On that note, I thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama North, Honorable Minority Leader. I now invite the Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the two motions before us, they are long overdue. We all know the University of the Gambia, the construction has been taking so long. I believe with our ratification or giving our blessing to it today will also help the work to be completed timely. Because in as much as we want the work to be done, if there is no money, there is no fund coming, the work cannot be completed timely. So what is important here is this is a way of getting funds so that we can complete construction of agricultural faculty, engineering, School of Education, and the like. And it has been well articulated in the agreement. And purchasing of materials like furniture. So therefore, I don't think no member will be here who will not give its blessing to this important motion. Now, coming to the Baton-Hiding road construction. Now, we don't expect road construction to be overnight. You know, it cannot be as quick as we expect because we want quality at the end of the day. But sometimes we have to talk to ourselves. Road construction will be ongoing. You see people, you know, it's not completed, they start driving on it. If you go from airport to Bruce B. Johnson, you see what is happening now. It's not completed. So how can we get quality road? I think the culture also needs to be really looked at. In as much as we want to move fast, we want to reach our destinations, but we need to allow the contractors also to do their job as expected. So at the end of the day, we move nowhere. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge all my colleagues, we give our blessings for it. As the minority leader said, monitoring will follow suit. But the monitoring committee in the parliament is handicapped. We don't have the tools to do our work. We can only go and see. We don't have the technicians with us who can tell us, you know, whether this is good or bad. So what we can do is based on what we see on the ground. So in other countries, they have the necessary tools to go and do, you know, proper checking on the construction that is taking place. So Office of the Clerk, you also help the committee when we want to go out anytime, they can go out. It depends on the funding. So I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Central Badibu. I now have the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabeji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. These two projects in the full disclosure of facts are not new to me. I work in the
university project for about 2-3 years. We started everything up to the procurement stage and also to hire the contractor. For the OIC project, the same thing. We started from the scratch up to the award of the contract. So therefore, I have good knowledge about these two projects. Before I start my presentation, I will urge the honorable members to kindly approve the projects. Myself, I'm the chair of Government Project Monitoring and Implementation. To respond to what a honorable minority leader said, this time around project monitoring will be very, very different. I can assure the National Assembly members that. That is why I said before, when we interact with the ministries, before, in fact, we bless any project, we will want to see the feasibility studies of all projects before the National Assembly can give its blessing. So therefore, all those things are measures to make sure that our project monitoring department is very, very effective this time around. Now, for the battle-hardened highway, there are issues there right now. The funding gap, I'm sure this has come to close that funding gap. When I was there, I think 3 of the those who are committed to the project, 3 funders were able to ratify their things in this National Assembly. So it's left with this last one now. So I still urge the honorable members to kindly approve this project so that it can continue as soon as possible. In fact, it is going, but so that the second phase can go as soon as possible. Now, the only problem I have with projects in this country, especially the battle-hardened, was the interference of government in procurement process. This has affected the quality of contractors for the OIC project. So I will urge the government not to be interfering into the procurement process of projects. Because if I start from the university project, I remember very well, the former First Lady was a problem. She interfered into the process until the project was subsequently awarded to Sapolji. Now there are issues at the University of the Gambia. When I also come to the OIC projects, I remember how the office of the project was so influencing the projects to be awarded to the Lot 2 contractor, Pavifort. That is why when I hear the president saying he is very unhappy, I just laugh because I know what happened. The office was very instrumental for us to give that contract to Pavifort. They don't only stop there. The president himself traveled up to Saudi and convinced the Saudi donors that the contract must be awarded to Pavifort. Now, if the same president visited the roads and was very, very unhappy, me having that good knowledge of what happened, I just laugh. So I don't want to go further. I still plead to honorable members to kindly approve these projects, and I'm assuring you all that this time around project monitoring and implementation is going to be very different. We are going to be very aggressive in monitoring all projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honorable member. Thank you very much, honorable member Olatrikunda Sabiji. We now have the honorable member for Banjul North.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would just want to seize this opportunity to say Assalamu alaikum to members, even though I have not been talking since in the morning, but due to reasons that is best known to me. But notwithstanding, I believe it is important to put this to members, that it is very important. But before doing so, I will seize the opportunity to commend the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs of this country for coming up with such emotion that is very important for us to see how best we can contribute and see the way forward as far as this country is concerned. But like I said, notwithstanding, I just want to put something to members that we can only achieve success when our dreams are bigger than our excuses, which is very important as a team. And I believe in doing so, looking at me physically, you will know that I am among the youngest parliamentarian in this country. So in doing so, we are learning a lot, more especially when it comes to the parliamentarians that we are here during the last legislature. So it is important for them always to put it to us that it is important for us to represent our country to the fullest. By the way, it is very important and timely to come up with this important motion so that we, the parliamentarians, can see into it and see, like I said, the way forward. But I also have concerns. And these are concerns that are not only from me, because I will also want to share with my fellow honorable members that I seized the opportunity to consult my people when I received the letter from the assembly that we are to have this extraordinary session, which I believe it is very important to consult them, because I will be here to address their needs and their concerns, which is all geared towards making sure that I put forward what is called better representation. So in that regard, though I am doing the talking now, but it's from the people of Banjul North. And they really want to know, because they are very concerned, because these are loans that the Gambia is going to pay. So in that regards, they want to know the overall impact of the project to the economy, which is very important to them, and also the internal rate of return of the project. They also want to know the net present value of the project, because I understand that the loan was signed since 24th of March 2021. That was the agreement for the Barton-Hardin Highway project. So they also want to know, as far as is Gambia who is paying back. But before I conclude, I believe it is important for me to make some contribution that has to do with the Ministry of Finance. And I believe it will be of use if we can work as a team to make sure that we put this in order. That is, to put into consideration the following. Debt ceiling legislated by the National Assembly to control the unnecessary borrowing by the government, which is very important. And I will also want to implore the ministry to review the investment in agriculture to establish the benefits of granted components. Adherence to strict procurement.
Point of order.
Can we hear the point of order? Honorable member, you can take your seat for the time being.
Speaker, we appreciate all the experiences honorable member is narrating to us, but we are dealing with a loan agreement, 2 loan agreements.
Pardon?
2 loan agreements. Can he restrict his contribution to the loan agreements, not to go to agriculture and all this?
Authority, please. Can you please cite the authority on him?
Honorable member, can you repeat what you said?
I said we appreciate the honorable member's narration, but what is before us now is 2 loan agreements. Can he restrict his contribution on the loan agreement, not to deviate from that? Because he's talking about agriculture and investments and all that. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Can I?
Honorable member, you can continue and take note.
Thank you very much, honorable member, for willing it, for that observation. But I would have expected you to allow me to learn so that you will understand what I'm trying to communicate here. Because in any effective communication, you must have the end result at the end of the day. But notwithstanding, I think I can still go ahead as far as my deliberation is concerned. But notwithstanding, like you said, it is important, even though you've tried to distract me a little bit. But notwithstanding, like I said, it is important for the ministry also, that is the Ministry of Finance, like part of the recommendations that I gave to you. Without the above reforms, the government will continue to borrow to fund current and capital expenditures using T-bills to fund that deficit, which I believe we can avoid. Because from what you have said, you understand all the economic situation of the country currently, which I believe with little bit efforts from the parliament, I believe you and your team can make a difference. It's not that you have manifested something that is extraordinary here today, but I have that belief that as far as we are genuine parliamentarians that are ready to serve this country, we can work with your ministry to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, members of this august assembly, honorable ministers here present, I rise to share my contribution with respect to the motion presented by the honorable minister. Firstly, I would like to submit that these motions will have my blessings. These were agreements that were made, launchings and estimates were made for them. So these are agreements with respect to the loans. So it is not a question of whether to approve it or not. It's a question of whether the funds will be put into right uses, what they were meant for. That is the question. These are loans that are going to be paid by ordinary Gambians. Of course, we know that at the end of every fiscal year, I'm not an economist though, and as per our GDP, and you calculate per capita income for every citizen. This does not include any farmer or carpenter or teacher or a mason. They are all inclusive. And when these loans are going to be paid, they're going to pay it. They're going to be part of it. So it's better the funds they are going to pay for it to be put into right suit. Firstly, I would like to talk about the university. I would like to thank the government and the department responsible for the implementation of it. To hear that by September, the opening ceremony of the University of the Gambia might have done, to ensure that the university is accommodated in the right environment and the learning environment is conducive, but inclusively. I would love to applaud the contractors for that. But I want to make a submission to the Minister of Higher Education. He is here seated before me, that this institution is built from the funds that are going to be paid by taxpayers. It is a loan and taxpayers are going to pay it, more so the peasants, the farmers, and their sons and daughters are graduating from the senior secondary schools. If they have good grades, give them scholarships to go to this environment and learn, because their parents are going to pay and they themselves are going to pay for these loans. If they have the merits for these scholarships, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, let's give these peasants this scholarship instead of the sons and daughters of the parliamentarians and the ministers. This is serious and we need to put it into consideration. Brilliant students from the poor houses are graduating from schools because of the financial status. So we need to put it into consideration. I challenge you, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, to put this into consideration so that the sons and daughters of the poor people who are going to pay this loan can go to the same university where their loans have gone to and learn and have quality education, and also have the opportunity to sit in this honorable assembly as honorable members of their various constituencies. Honorable Speaker, members of this august assembly, I want to agree with the submission of the honorable minority leader with respect to proper monitoring and evaluation of these projects, more so the Battle Hardened Highway. I want to, honorable majority leader, do you want to observe me? Okay. I want to make a submission with respect to this road. Every project, the project duration is very important. It's important because the project implementation is attached to the lives and livelihood of the people of the Gambia. If you look at the fares from Costa Road to Turntable now, the drivers are making it $15 a week, supposed to be $8 because of the bad road. The sideways that they've created for the vehicles to move are all bumpy and are not helping the vehicles. Honorable members and ministers and workers who drive through those roads will know that definitely those sideways are in a very bad condition. This is why the salary, the fares is even increased from $8 to $15. Our mothers and fathers who have gone to the market and they have closed, the little that they have are all going into this phase. So the project duration is very, very important. We want to submit to you that you ensure that as per the disbursement of the monies, the funds, as per the phases of the project, you also monitor the quality of the work that is going in progress and to ensure that the project timeline is not exhausted without the completion of the project. If it is exhausted, that has to be explanatory and conceivable to the people to ensure that they understand this is the reason why the project duration has to be extended. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Kiang West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you so very much, the Speaker, for giving me the platform. I am confused as to how the government of the Gambia wants to bring their projects and development. You can't base all your programs, all your plans on loan as a nation. As I said initially, a government should learn how to generate income and not to depend on loan and grant and donors. And besides, I am not well informed as to how the government plans to pay back those loans. In the event we fail to pay back those loans, what are the consequences that we're going to face as a nation? All these are things that we need to consider as members of the National Assembly. Besides, I am not anti-development. I am in for development. But as much as I am in for development, I don't want our neck to be tied up to a point where we can't breathe any longer. It is of utmost importance for us to have a university and to have the extension of the university. Likewise, to have the Battle Hardened Highway extended. Those are very important things. But then,
Time and again, we have seen that they took loan to build up the university in Faba campus, and that university is yet to be completed. So we need to scrutinize those that are in charge of those projects. Proper scrutiny should be taken over the issues. And these are monies that we are going to pay back at the end of the day. So we need not to compromise with it. If the loan is taken, the loan should not be taken for any other cost, or for us to turn a blind eye, wherein the contractor connects with other ministries or wherever to embezzle that fund. At the end of the day, we all have to pay for the consequences of the loan. To be very honest with you, let the government start thinking and think critically to come up with solutions to our problem rather than depending on loan constantly. You went on a campaign and told the people clearly, and now that you are coming, you have no other plans except to depend on loan. It's not sustainable. And this, in the long run, will not be accepted.
I now invite the Honorable Member for Fuji Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance, and the respective ministries and their heads, fellow colleagues, honorable members. With two bills, they are the widening of Barton Harden Highway.
Sorry, point of correction, please. It's a motion, agreement, not bills.
Sorry?
Agreements, not bills.
Okay, sorry. Agreement, Roddy, thank you. And also that of the University of the Gambia, Faraba campus. Honorable Speaker, it's indeed great, as we all know, that a nation without quality education is a nation that will not achieve its dreams in terms of development, in terms of technology, and in terms of enhancing the capacity of governance and the government system. The University of the Gambia project has, long overdue in terms of its implementation. We all know that every project, it has what we call a starting and an ending. As the project has started long since, according to the loans agreement, the project has already did a first lot, and second, in terms of chairs or furniture, other consulting services will also be paid. We all know the current status quo of the University of the Gambia. They live on rental of other institutes. You go to GTTI, you find classroom of University of the Gambia students. You go to GTMI, you find students of the University of the Gambia. You go to Gambia College, students of the University of the Gambia. You go to Daddy Job, students of the University of the Gambia. You go to Greater Banjul Senior Upper or Technical, University of the Gambia students are there. But we believe, in hindsight, if this loan will cut that mass exodus of movement, that will not even bring the comfort of students in terms of knowledge and comfort reading. Sometimes you go to the university, a whole classroom of 50, 60, or 70 students in one classroom. So it's not attainable, and we believe if honorable members, we look at it critically, the work towards approving this will pay off, and those complaints will be history. The other thing also, the Barton Harden Highway, we want proper clarification. Honorable Minister, if you could help us better in terms of the road, the design. We have a lot of messages crisscrossing. 3-lane, 4-lane, 5-lane, etc., etc. And the other problem that I've also saw yesterday, as I went through that particular road, the road has been left open. Unfinished job, cars are passing through that particular road. What do you expect at the end of the day? That has not even gone halfway. So we believe authorities, through the ministry, could take measures to make sure they put proper stinging measures for people to avoid that road. And they develop better sideways to make ease movement of people in that particular direction. Honorable Speaker, we believe so. A lot has been said about this road project. Demolition has been made of this road project down from the airport Johnson to Senegambia. The expectation of people, we believe, as they have demolished all sides of the road should also be expanded to that particular end. So we need an informed decision. We need an informed clarity for the people to know. Most of the people are confused. My house has been demolished, but the road sides, as per the look, it doesn't even went halfway line. So these are issues that we want the minister to help us in giving clarity to avail the fears of people. And also, Honorable Speaker, faculties of the University of the Gambia in Faraba campus, it's a whole university. And I know the government, since the initiators of that project, have took the lead way to know the dimension of the entire landscape of that Faraba campus. We want an informed decision, the size of that landscape. And again, we want to make sure that the university take ownership and do a proper fencing of that territory. Or else, they'll end up losing the land, courts, a lot of issues that will happen in that particular area because it's not properly, protected. So we want, so far they are working on those projects. Let them also work on that particular line to see that the line is guided. Or else commotion will start. As we all know, land grabbing is all over in the country. But if they stood firm to make sure they put those realities in place, I think it will also help and make a proper instrumental aspects, checks and balance of the University of the Gambia. So I believe so, honorable members, let's give it a try this time. And again, we tax the monitoring team of the National Assembly. Months, sometimes years, people who are responsible for those projects will not even do proper monitoring. So what do you expect? People will do what they like, they'll act the way they want it, and at the end of the day, you see a failure of a project. This is what had happened. The road was inaugurated by the president, 7 months no visit. The 7 month he visited, he was disappointed. So I think we could make regular measures in terms of visiting projects to ascertain and make informed decision that this is a country that we belong to. It is ours. Government comes and goes, project stays. So the better you sanction and develop and institute a better checks and balance of projects, the better we realize our monies where they put. So if that's not the case, we end up taking loan grants, building projects that will not be realized, and then the failure will happen. So therefore, I believe we will act wisely. 2 important bills of this nature will not be left behind, and we will support it, but we will support it with conditions, and we put this case to the monitoring team of the National Assembly Select Committee that we will be following you, and you will also follow the relevant authorities to see that these projects are successful. And if they fail, we've all failed woefully. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, let's note that we are dealing with we have finished our bills. We are now dealing with loan agreements. We now have the honorable member for Lower Saloon.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was saying that I'm in support of the loans, the both 2 loans agreement, which is continuation of projects. Already, we all seen what has happened. These projects are undergoing. Again, for the Kuwait fund loan, if you go for the Schedule 1, the payment provisions is all taken care of. How the government will make payment of the loan. And again, the draft, the budget estimate for 2022, there was allocation of also for payment of this loan, 186,900,000 and something dollars is also taken care of. Honorable Speaker, the description of the projects entails everything and is well taken care of. The how do you call it, the Badin highway, I don't know, the Badin Hadin highway road for from the airport junction to the skin corner. I have a little bit issue because the project funding, it will elapse 2024. Honorable Minister, for instance, the project doesn't finish until that moment. So this payment will continue, or there will be a shortfall of payments to this loan agreement because it might pass today. I guess the honorable members will support it. But if this loan is passed, the project is not yet to finish. What will be the repercussions of the payment of this loan? And honorable members, I'm urging everybody to support the two agreements, whereby it can be help the citizens on their economic activities. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think my contribution is going to be very short. These two loan agreements are in fact very important because we know the state of the roads, but I'm particularly concerned about the quality. From what I have seen, I have not seen quality roads being built. It is not only a matter of pouring tar on the road, leveling the road. Road construction is an expertise job. I am not an expert, but I have eyes, and from what I have seen, I'm not very satisfied. I think we should be mindful of quality. In as much as I was against the former regime, they have given us some roads at least, because I remember coming back home in 1999 when they were building the coastal road from Senegambia to the airport. And I think we should give them that credit. And that road is still in good condition. From what I have seen last month, the roads that were built by the previous regime, I saw it being ruined. So I guess I expect them to build a better road rather than ruin the roads that we had. And also, I will take you to the Constitution, section 155 of the Constitution, which tells us how we can acquire loans and how we use them. I'm not assuming, I'm asking the Honorable Minister whether the commencement of the road is based on these monies that we are expecting. Because based on section 155 of the Constitution, with your permission, Honorable Speaker, it says that an agreement to which subsection 1 refers to shall be laid before the National Assembly and shall not come into effect until it is approved by the National Assembly. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm just hoping that the monies are not being used until this August Assembly has approved the loans. That is my major concern, because if that is not the case, then the government would be breaking the laws based on this Constitution. That is my main concern. But apart from that, I think it's a good initiative. We should only ensure that the roads are of quality and the loans for the university is out. because we need, I'm an advocate for good education. And without a good environment, obviously, we will not have the quality education. The students deserve to have a very good state-of-the-art campus. So I think even if the money should be increased, I would have supported it. Because I'm not saying that loans are not good. Loans are okay. Even first world countries take loans. But what use are these loans? I think that is what we should be concerned about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me. Honorable Speaker, I will first start with the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and Islamic Development Bank. That's the University of the Gambia, which is actually highly welcome. And then I also join my colleague to lend support. Also, I would thank the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs for coming with such a loan. Because looking at our debt situation, I think these are the type of loan that the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs are expected to contract. Because if you look at the concessionality, it is very concessional. In fact, there is no interest attached to it. All what the borrower do is to pay a service fee. So actually, then the loan is welcome, and then if you look at the tenor is 25 years, and then out of that 25 years, you are given 7 years. Then after the 7 years, then you start now paying the loan. So actually, the loan is very concessional. I welcome the Minister of Finance to actually contracting such a loan. And if you look at the loan again, if you go to page 8, you know, it tells you how many percentage, how many amount is going to civil work, how many amounts is going to furnitures, consultancy service, or the staff. So actually, the loan is actually very detailed. So, Honorable Speaker, I will not dwell much about this loan on the issue of the university, because for me, when you are giving a loan, especially a country like the Gambia for 25 years, actually it is really welcome. On the Batin-Harding Highway, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, I just make an observation. I don't know, maybe if you can help me. On the order paper, 6 million dinar, Amakweti dinar, is equivalent to 19,800,000. But if you go in the loan agreement that we are giving, you can see a figure of 20 million US dollars. And then the other figure there is 14 million US dollars coming from two different banks. I assume the 6 million Kuwaiti dinar is equivalent to $20 million, because when I did my calculation, if you looked at the my little arithmetic, the rate used for the 19,800,000 is at 3.3. If you multiplied it by 6 million, you get 19,800,000. But what concerns me actually, what we have in the document is actually 20 million. So I don't know how we can actually marry this thing. I think the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs will actually help us. And then on this loan, Honorable Minister, as I was saying on the previous loan, that deals with the university, you are given the tenure of say 25 years with a grace period of 7 years. But I have been trying to get the tenure of the Batin Hardin Highway. Yeah, on the Batin Hardin Highway, I can get a period of a grace period of 3 years. But after that 3 years, I cannot see any tenure, and then I believe the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs would actually help me to know the tenure. Then my other issue, that which I need a clarification also, you know, if you are giving us something, we will actually want you to make it very comfortable for us. You see, the bill of quantity on the loan agreement at the university, the bill of quantity is completely set out. But when you come to the to the Batin Hardin Highway, you just give us the artwork, paving, consultancy. You don't give us the bill of quantity. And maybe in the near future, as members of parliament, we will actually want to know how much is going on construction, how much is going on consultancy. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I actually support the the two motions, which are timely and very important for our country. Because nowadays, if you look at the Batin Hardin Highway, the description, it is telling you they are trying to mitigate traffic light. If you close from this assembly at 4 o'clock and you want to go where I live, Fajikunda, it took you almost 2 hours before you get there, or even more. So any decision to try to make sure that to lose the traffic is highly welcome. So I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankungu. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Allow me to join my honorable colleagues for lending my support to bless these two loan agreements for us ratification. Of course, alluded by Honorable Member for Banjul South, this is actually in accordance of Section 155, subsection 1, 2, 3A, and B, that no loan shall be contracted without coming to this August Assembly to get it approval through resolution by a majority. I thank the government of the day for fulfilling those constitutional provisions by coming to National Assembly, contracting loan on behalf of the government, on behalf of the country, but coming to people's representatives for them to give them the final blessing before the loan comes to effect. However, Honorable Speaker, governments always charge with responsibility to make sure that the welfare of people are taken seriously. Government cannot lose in failing responsibility, regardless of what circumstances one may find yourself. You cannot shy away from those responsibilities. It is in that spirit, government thought it wise. No government can make it through resource mobilization internally to address the pressing concerns or pressing need of people. You must be dynamic in the sense that to go around, get highly constitutional loan, bring them, invest them into productive sector of the economy that also will generate income for a government. And that is the trajectory that this government has taken in terms of investing in our productive sector of the economy, such as education. No nation survive, or no nation's future is brighter if you play with education. So investing in the education sector is the right direction for this government and Parliament coming together to make sure they approve such money is the right thing to do. Secondly, in terms of infrastructure, this could be seen today that Gambia is contracting loan, but in the long run, this loan, if properly utilized, would create revenue base for the country. We've seen countries contracting loan, making bridges, toll gates. You put a toll gate on those roads and generate revenue. So what is important is not what the amount of loan in question, but the important thing is that where do you want to put the loan into should be questioned. And I think with this direction, to widen the Batin-Hadin Highway, to ease traffic, to ease communication, is the right thing to do with that money. Honorable Speaker, people might say that borrowing is not the way out. Of course, I want to tell this August Assembly, America is one of the highly indebted countries in the world. And if you look at statistics, Gambia is not even ranked the heavily indebted 10 countries in the world. You hear the Angolas, the Benin Republic, and other countries. So therefore, we are in the right direction. Honorable Speaker, I think honorable members would bear me or believe in me that this loan, if properly utilized, would really actually yield dividends and catapult this country to the higher height. I would also ask Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to please help us as members of Parliament for effectiveness in our oversight functions and responsibility to help break this loan component into its use for us to know how much has gone into the civil work, how much is going to consultancy, so that at the end of the day, when our committees or select committees goes out, they will know where to put their questions, or they will know where to go to make sure that what has been ratified in Parliament, the replica effect is on the ground. So it's important for us to also put that thing in the back of our mind. And I want to see the opportunity to thank all of them for showing positive sign towards the thing. On that note, without much ado, I want to thank you so much for giving me the floor, and I thank them for their indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majority Leader and Member for Kantora. I now give the floor to the Honorable Member for Lower Badigu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I would want to thank Honorable Minister of Finance, as well as the Vice President and my National Assembly colleagues, security forces present here, as well as the media. The bill before us, the two bills, namely the extension of Batin-Hadin Highway, and of course the finishing of the second phase of the University of the Gambia, is of paramount to the lives and livelihood of Gambians. First of all, the University of the Gambia. No nation can achieve progress without having a sound educational policy, or without having a good education. For example, we've been seeing people with good educational qualification. Let me put it in this way. Education is key to development for any nation. A nation without highly qualified people will find it tough to achieve what it is looking for. Coming back to the extension of Batin-Hadin Highway, I think this initiative by the minister will lead to the economic growth of the Gambian economy. We are seeing our sisters and mothers who are, of course, flying from the Combo East and North. Most of them, they use that way. So if that way is constructed fully, it will ease the trafficking of their goods, which they are taking from the growing centers to the market. So I believe that this Honorable Assembly, most especially this August Assembly, should give its blessings to this bill. We should try and approve it so that, of course, what we are yearning for, we can achieve it in totality. So, Honorable Speaker, I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to air out my concern on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member Polowa Badibu. Honorable members, I have no more on my list. I now call upon the mover of the motion, the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister, to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate. Honorable Minister.
Good evening, Honorable Speaker and honorable members of the August Assembly. Thank you very much for all your contribution, which is very enriching. I will attempt to respond to the questions and contributions raised during your deliberation. The Honorable MP, Member of National Assembly Member for Woolly East, asked a question on the late payment. Unfortunately, it so happened he's not around, and that if payment is not on time, the balance will be transferred to charity. I think I can explain this. In Islamic finance, there is no interest and there is no penalty. However, in a bid to ensure that clients pay on time, you are technically charged a penalty if you don't pay on time. But because Islamic finance principles don't allow the bank to absorb or receive penalties or interest, that amount is escrowed and transferred into a charitable account, which is used for the charitable activities of the bank. So that is the explanation he was seeking. Okay. Well, okay. Yes, and on the disbursement, on the signing, yes, indeed. That's why we present this loan agreement today. We are at the tail end. Since the loan was signed, we have 6 months to get it ratified. Otherwise, the agreement will be lapsed. So that's why we urgently put it as part of certificate of urgency. Diligent disbursement will be ensured, because as we know, there are service fees attached, and we'll ensure we disburse on time. For member for Kuwait, Brikama North, of course, the slow pace of the University of the Gambia suffers from the resource mobilization. But now with the ratification of this agreement, we believe the funding will be close for the effective implementation. And we have just concluded from our last trip to the annual meeting of IDB, the last outstanding financing close. So we believe the pending issue of the financing close is not an issue anymore. Financing has already been closed, and we expect the project to continue. The member for Banjul North raised very, very valuable concerns on the impact of the project and requested whether these projects have positive IRRs or net present values of the project. These are social projects. These are not commercial projects. And in social projects, you look at what they call the economic impact of the project, the internal rate of return or net present value. Those are ideally suited for commercial projects. But as a government, they are what they call the spillover effect, the positive externalities of a project. Once these roads are constructed, you will see the level of economic activity in terms of ease of traffic congestion, the quick movement, the saving in fuel costs because of lack of traffic congestion. All of these are calculated to arrive at an economic impact return, into economic rate of return, not the IRR or NPV. Debt ceiling legislation, yes, but we are not yet there. Debt ceiling is a trouble for even the US. We remember how sometimes their government was going to be closed down because they busted the debt ceiling. But notwithstanding, we don't need to get to a debt ceiling. There is what they call debt sustainability assessment that is periodically conducted by the government in collaboration with the partners to ensure that we have the capacity to service any debt contracted. That is why any debt that the government is going in for must meet the concessionality requirement. Whether the member for Kiang West, whether the funds will be put to good use, of course. It's morally imperative that government will not take money and not put it to good use. By default, I'm sure you all trust us. That's why we are in the positions that we are in, and we'll ensure that the resources are put to the best use. While loans and the loan repayment for member for Fonyi Bintang, yes, these are long-term projects. And as you can see, our domestic resources are not adequate enough to meet our recurrent expenditures, not to talk of long-term capital projects. As such, until such time that we have adequate domestic resource mobilization, long-term projects will continue to utilize loans for financing. Of course, we cannot comment on repayment or embezzlement of contractors because it is within our moral and ethical responsibility to ensure whatever we do it right. So I will not, but just be rest assured that the executive is mindful of that. Project implementation, Lower Salom until 2024, and if this project deadline is not met, what happens? Of course, the project when you're contracting has a timeline. It is never an open-ended. The objective is that all effort will be done to ensure that it is completed and executed within the timeline. Member for Banjul South mentioned about the quality of roads and what are the uses of loans in these constructions, which I've mentioned, I've responded to. But of course, I think we have deliberations from the team members of the House, particularly the Committee on Projects. They will be also doing the oversight role to ensure that the constructions are fit for purpose and value for money. Member for Nyamina Dankunku asked some questions in terms of the tenure of the facility. Yes, it was not mentioned, but if you look at the agreement, the schedule there too has an amortization table, which is for 50 periods, and each period is semi-annually, so that makes it 25-year facility. And in terms of the breakdown of the facility, 18 million is for civil works and $1.5 million is for consultancy. There is a slight movement in terms of the total because of exchange rate movement, even though the equity dinner is pegged, but you have exchange rate movements occasionally. So without much ado, thank you very much. This is the points I took note of, and I hope I have satisfied in clarifying your points. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for ably responding to issues raised by honorable members. Honorable members, as promised, I will put the question separately for each of the motions before us. I now put the question, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and Kuwaiti Fund for Arab Economic Development for the widening of Batin Hardin Highway road project amounting to 6 million Kuwaiti dinars, equivalent to 19.8 million US dollars. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I now move on to the next loan agreement. Let me put the question. Be resolved that this Honorable Assembly do ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Islamic Development Bank regarding the development of the University of the Gambia Phase 2 project amounting to US $7 million. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. On this note, the two loan agreements have been ratified. Honorable members, as we come close to the business of the day, I want to seize this opportunity to thank on your behalf the Honorable His Excellency, the Vice President, and Cabinet Ministers, who you will observe have been with us from morning to now. It only indicates the importance they attach to this institution and to government business in general. Your Excellency, the Vice President and the Cabinet Ministers, we are very grateful and we thank you very much. To you, the Honorable Minister of Finance and your technical team, we are grateful that you led us through the budget estimates and the loan agreements. We thank you very much. Honorable members, finally, be resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned, sine die. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The Assembly now stand adjourned, sine die. I thank you all, honorable members, for your contributions, your very rich contributions. And I think you definitely deserve commendation. And you also deserve to be representatives of your various consequences. I thank you very much.